Hello, welcome to the Brainscapers with Brooks and Roots. I'm Roots. Today we're at a farm in Wilmington, Ohio, and we're going to talk about some evergreens that have been planted about 10 years ago, plus or minus, to allow for a windbreak screening for a farm field. The thing that's interesting about this is this planting is a combination of what we call green giant arborvitae or eastern white cedar. Also, in what was planted alternately with it is Norway spruce, this one here. So these guys are both evergreens, both are fast growing. I actually would have considered Norway's spruces to be faster growing than the green giants, but what's interesting here is the green giants have totally outgrown the Norways. They closed in on them, they're taller. Our planting now is probably about 30 feet high. They'll keep going. They're probably going to hit another 10 feet at least taller than this. The nice thing about the green giants is it's a thick, solid screen. They stay evergreen year round. In the fall, the interior needles will turn brown and drop. That's totally normal, just like with white pine. The other thing that's nice about them is in the wintertime, they kind of take on a bronzy color to the foliage. So they actually change and have what I consider an interesting winter effect. But these guys are tough as nails. It is my evergreen of choice for this sort of screening, whether you're doing it as a wind block or you're doing it as a screening for privacy. Either way works great. This is well-drained ground, actually good soil where everything is planted. They were watered initially the first few years they were in. Now they're on their own. They're in with the drought that we're in. This whole planting looks fabulous. The other thing that's really nice about the green giants is it provides really nice bird refuge in the wintertime. The birds love to go in. It gives them shelter out of the elements, out of snow, that sort of thing. So not only screening, but also a good place for your birds. And we're going to go a little bit further down here and talk about a couple of other evergreens that are in the same screen that were planted a little bit more recent, maybe in the 6 to 7 year range. And you can see the height of it. So we'll just kind of change gears and walk down here for a moment. We were just talking about green giant arborvitaes, and I want to talk about a little bit about that as far as they are what is considered a cultivar. You'll see things that'll say cultivar green giant or emerald green, that sort of thing. Basically what a cultivar is a plant that has been selected for its qualities. In the case of green giant is a type of eastern white cedar, but it is absolutely, each one looks just like its parent plant. So that being said, it was selected and called green giant because they grow very fast. They have really good dark green color. They're absolutely consistent. Whereas what I'm standing by now are what we call seedling strain. So with cultivars, you'll see a lot of different plants that'll have like a Cleveland Select pear. That is a specific pear where each and every Cleveland Select is going to be exactly like the parent because they're grown either from cuttings, tissue culture, or they're propagated to be exactly like the parent plant. So what we're looking at here, these are what we call seedling strain Colorado blue spruces. Whereas a cultivar of a Colorado blue spruce may be something like a hoopsii blue spruce. Well, every single hoopsii, its parent is a hoopsii, and they're either grown from typically cuttings or tissue culture. Whereas these are Colorado blues that are going to be, they're all Colorado blues, but because you can have 100 different seeds from the same parent plant, you're going to have one that's more of a greenish blue. You may have one that's more of a light blue. You may have one that's shorter, wider, or stockier. So the seedling strains are not going to be true to form to like a cultivar, like a green giant. You buy a green giant, it's going to look exactly like every other green giant. And that's true when we get into pretty much everything that you would consider an ornamental in your yard. So something that like a typical white pine is going to be, and we've got some white pines up here. Can't really see them from where you're at, but they're a longer needle evergreen, and those are seedling strain. There are also cultivars of white pines, like Japanese white pine has more of a denser, more bluish cast to the needles, tighter needle clusters, so they're going to be slightly different looking than what the white pine is. So where I'm going with that is when you're looking for something like a Green Giant also has another cultivar called Spring Grove, which is an improved variety of Green Giant. Side by side, they look fairly similar. A lot of people wouldn't be able to tell them apart, but it's a really good, strong cultivar as well, or another possibility for your selection. So now we're going to move over to the other side of the Green Giant row that's also interspersed with the Norway spruces. So you can see what they were trying to accomplish by creating a windbreak, also a dust break from the field, and also spray, because it's an alternative crop of soybeans and corn here. Right now they've got it in soybeans, but this will kind of show you how this windbreak has achieved, and privacy screen has totally blocked this house from the field next to it. So on this side, which is the sunny side of this windbreak for the soybean field that you're seeing, what you're going to notice is all of the Norway spruces. This is a better way to see how they were planted alternately all the way down. Norway spruce, Green Giant, Norway spruce, Green Giant. So with this, the Norway spruces are growing to the sun a little bit quicker than what the Green Giants are, whereas on the other side, the shadier side, the Green Giants are doing, they're kind of taking over what you would see with the Norway spruces. So again, this has become a great windbreak screen. From the road, you can't see the house, but also it keeps all of the wind that comes off of this field from tunneling in and totally blasting the house that's behind it. This is a high water table here, which is kind of an interesting thing. So maybe when they were planted, the ground actually stays a little moister than some of the other areas, which also may take into account why these guys have done so well here. They just look fabulous. So we'll go on to the other side and I'll talk a little bit about white pines. So we're coming back in to talk about some of the other evergreens in this mixed screen. So this is a question that comes up every year to all the garden centers, nurseries, is why are my white pines dying? What's going on? These are not dying. They're actually very healthy. Every fall, all the interior needles will drop on any of the white pines. Even the arborvitaes will lose the interior needles. That's just part of its normal growth cycle. So all of these needles will drop. It becomes pine straw on the ground. That is what allows the plant to naturally create its own acidity for the plant. And so by the time fall's over with, all these will drop. And then going into winter, you just have your nice, beautiful, fluffy white pine tree. So that is totally a normal thing. That's what you expect. That just means that the growth previously, the years previous, had a lot of good growth. So that's actually what you're looking for. That's a good thing. These guys are in really good health. A great planting and a nice soft planting. So just kind of softens some of the spruces. This is a nice contrast for the Green Giant Arborvitaes and also the Colorado Blues that we have on the other side. So we'll go back to talk a little bit more on the Green Giants. So to conclude, I just want to sum up a little bit of what we just talked about. So these guys are Green Giant Arborvitaes. They're a cultivar. This is a Norway spruce. We also talked about the Colorado Blue spruces, the seedling strain, and also white pine. All of these are really good evergreens to screen, whether you're trying to do a wind block or create a privacy screen. In this space, this yard had plenty of room to do a nice big screen. The width on these were probably at about 20 feet from one side to the other and 30, 40 feet tall. So again, you want to have a place where you've got plenty of room for them. So this planting has worked out really well to provide a windbreak screening, great refuge for the birds in the winter. Just a really nice combination of different textures with the Colorado Blue seedlings, the white pines, the Norway spruce, and then Green Giant, which was our focus for today. So thank you for joining Brooks and Roots with Brainscapers. Hope you have a great week. Please like, subscribe, share. Give us your feedback on what you want to hear about, and we will get more information out to you. Have a great week.